If you are trying to sponsor a family member for immigration in 2026, stop. Before you file a single form or pay a single fee, you need to hear this. The rules around family sponsorship have changed. Income thresholds are up, processing timelines have shifted, and thousands of petitions are being delayed or even denied because of mistakes that are completely avoidable. Stay with us until the end of this video. We are going to walk you through everything you need to know so that your application does not become one of those statistics. Welcome to Global Immigration Scope, your trusted source for immigration news and visa updates from around the world. Today, we are covering a topic that affects millions of families: family-based immigration sponsorship in 2026. This is one of the most common pathways to permanent residency in countries like the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. But it is also one of the most misunderstood. In this video, we have compiled the most important updates based on official sources, including guidance from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, known as USCIS, as well as Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, the UK Home Office, and Australian immigration authorities. Whether you are sponsoring a spouse, a parent, a child, or a sibling, this update is for you. Let us get into it. So, what has actually changed in 2026? The biggest shift centers on income and financial requirements. In the United States, the minimum income threshold for family sponsorship, based on the federal poverty guidelines, has been adjusted upward for 2026. This means sponsors must now demonstrate a higher annual income to qualify. The USCIS formally updated Form I-864, the Affidavit of Support, to reflect these new thresholds. If you filed using 2024 figures, those numbers are no longer valid. Why did this happen? The adjustment is tied to annual cost of living changes and federal poverty level revisions. It is a routine update, but one that many applicants completely overlook. In Canada, the sponsorship undertaking process under the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act has also seen updates to the low-income cutoff, or LICO, requirements. Sponsors of parents and grandparents must now meet a higher income bar, and the popular Parents and Grandparents Program lottery saw changes to how interest forms are submitted and evaluated. In the United Kingdom, the family visa income threshold, which was raised significantly in 2024 for spouse and partner visas, has now reached its second planned increase in 2025, with full implementation continuing through 2026. This has had a major impact on British citizens sponsoring non-EEA partners. In Australia, the partner visa and parent visa programs continue under their existing frameworks, but processing times have lengthened considerably due to application backlogs, and the government has signaled possible further review of the contributory parent visa fees. When do these changes take effect? Most of these updates are already in effect as of early 2026, but some, particularly the phased UK income thresholds, continue to roll out through the year. Who is affected? If you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder sponsoring a relative, a Canadian citizen or permanent resident sponsoring a family member, or a British citizen petitioning for a foreign spouse or partner, you are directly in scope for these updates. Now let us break down the most important rules and the most common mistakes to avoid. Rule 1. Know the exact income threshold for your household size. In the U.S., the required income is 125% of the federal poverty level for your household size. For a household of 3 in 2026, this is approximately $31,000 to $33,000 per year, but always verify the latest figures directly on the USCIS website, as these update annually. Mistake to avoid: using last year's income thresholds. Many sponsors copy old applications. Always download the most current version of Form I-864 or the equivalent form in your country. Rule 2. Document your relationship thoroughly. Immigration officers are trained to identify gaps in relationship evidence. For spousal sponsorships, you need consistent evidence over time: joint bank accounts, shared lease agreements, communication records, photographs. A thin application will raise red flags even if the relationship is genuine. Mistake to avoid: submitting only a marriage certificate and nothing else. That is not enough in 2026. Rule 3. Track visa priority dates carefully. If you are sponsoring a family preference visa, such as an F2A for spouses and minor children of green card holders, or an F4 for siblings of U.S. citizens, these categories are subject to annual visa quotas and wait times. The monthly Visa Bulletin published by the U.S. State Department tells you where processing currently stands. Mistake to avoid: filing an adjustment of status application before your priority date is current. This leads to rejection. Rule 4. Be transparent about medical history and criminal records. All family-based immigration applications require a medical examination by a designated physician and a background check. Some health conditions require vaccination documentation. Even minor past criminal convictions, including those that were expunged, may need to be disclosed, depending on the country. Mistake to avoid: omitting information thinking it will not be found. Immigration databases are extensive. Incomplete disclosures can result in permanent bars from reapplying. Rule 5. Know when to use a joint sponsor. If the petitioning sponsor does not meet the income requirement on their own, a joint sponsor, a separate U.S. citizen or permanent resident, can co-sign the Affidavit of Support. This is a legitimate and commonly used option. However, the joint sponsor takes on legal responsibility for the immigrating person. Mistake to avoid: assuming any financially stable person can be a joint sponsor. They must meet residency requirements and file their own complete I-864. Now let us talk about what all of this means for you practically. For sponsors who already meet the income threshold, not much changes in terms of eligibility, but you still need to ensure your documentation reflects the 2026 figures. Submitting outdated forms is one of the top reasons for requests for evidence, or RFEs, which can delay your case by months. For sponsors near the income cutoff, this update is significant. If your household income sits close to the threshold, the upward adjustment may now put you just below the requirement. Review your finances carefully. Consider a joint sponsor if needed, but do not wait until after you receive an RFE to make that decision. For families waiting on priority dates, unfortunately, backlogs in certain family preference categories remain a challenge in 2026. Some categories, particularly siblings of U.S. citizens, have wait times stretching many years. There is no quick fix here, but knowing your priority date and monitoring the Visa Bulletin every month is critical. For those in the UK, the income increase for spousal visas has been one of the most controversial immigration changes in recent years. Many UK citizens with legitimate family relationships are finding it difficult to bring their partners to the country. Legal challenges have been filed, and advocacy groups continue to push back. If you are affected, consulting a qualified immigration solicitor is strongly advised. In general, the overall environment for family-based immigration in 2026 remains active but complex. Applications are being processed, families are being united, but the margin for error is smaller than it used to be. A single missing document or an outdated form can set you back by 6 months or more. Looking ahead, what can we expect from family immigration policy in the coming months? In the United States, immigration policy continues to be shaped by both congressional debate and executive priorities. While family-based immigration has broad public support, proposals to restructure the visa preference system, shifting toward more skills-based selection, remain a topic of ongoing political discussion. For now, the family-based system is intact, but applicants should stay alert to any legislative developments that could affect visa categories. In Canada, the Parents and Grandparents program remains highly competitive. Given the high volume of interest forms submitted each year versus the limited number of spots available, many families face long waits. The Canadian government has shown interest in expanding intake numbers, but no formal increase has been confirmed for 2026. In the United Kingdom, the future of the family visa income threshold will likely depend in part on ongoing legal and parliamentary scrutiny. Watch this space. There may be adjustments to how thresholds are calculated or applied, particularly for lower-income sponsors. Globally, countries are under growing pressure to manage immigration volumes while maintaining humanitarian commitments to family reunification. The trend across most major destination countries is toward more documentation, higher financial bars, and longer processing times. But the pathway for family sponsorship remains open. Our advice: stay informed, work with a licensed immigration professional if your case is complex, and always use official government sources for your forms and guidance. Do not rely solely on social media or online forums for immigration advice. To summarize what we covered today, family sponsorship immigration in 2026 comes with updated income requirements, stricter documentation expectations, and in some countries, higher financial thresholds for spousal visas. The most common mistakes, using outdated forms, underestimating relationship documentation, and missing priority date windows, are all avoidable with preparation. Whatever country you are applying in, take the time to review the official requirements, gather strong evidence, and when in doubt, seek qualified legal advice. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone who might be going through the sponsorship process, and drop your questions in the comments below. We read every single one. Thank you for watching Global Immigration Scope. Stay informed and subscribe for the latest immigration news and visa updates from around the world.